This shadow agent is tech, and I can prove it in today's video. What's up, guys, and welcome to this video where, well, where can we start? I mean, episode 6 and 7 were kind of crazy. There's a lot of things happening in these two episodes, but mostly, isn't it a refreshing idea to just get the clones more, to be focused more on the clones than, you know, Dr. Hemlock's experiments and what Omega is up to? I felt kind of the twinge of the Clone Wars Rebels series, and that nostalgia really hit me with these two episodes. I think that the Bad Batch has told all it's needed to tell at this point. I mean, I'm praying that we will get in the future a new series with these surviving clones, more specifically Rex, Wolf, and Gregor, how they will pick up the mantle and essentially, as we saw in these two episodes, lay the groundwork for the rebellion. Right off the bat, we see that Captain Rex has not lost his footing. Another nostalgic trip, we see senators that we've seen before, but the Imperial Agent that threw the grenade and Captain Rex throwing an Uno card at his face, essentially grabbing that grenade and throwing it back at him, was something magnificent. This is what we've been missing ever since the Clone Wars series has ended. Again, I really want another of those series to come back. Now even darker. Imagine Captain Rex going against Darth Vader. That would be just spectacular. And Captain Rex ultimately finding out that Vader is General Skywalker. That would be amazing. But let's talk about when they get back to the base. Now, things start to ramp up because remember when I told you about me trying to prove in this video that Tech is actually alive and was captured by Hemlock. So remember the first shadow agent. He was trying to assassinate the senators, forming a meeting against Palpatine. Rex was protecting them, but that Imperial agent did not have the earpiece, the visor piece that we see on clones, and more specifically, Tech. You can see that the first Imperial agent only had his helmet, while the second one definitely has that earpiece. But of course, there's much more evidence, so let me go through them. While the first Imperial agent's face does get revealed, and it's a standard clone with a standard haircut, the second Imperial agent does not get his face revealed. He is covered by his mask at all times, even when fighting Crosshair at the end, even when falling down the waterfall, we never see his face. Furthermore, on Tantus, not only are most clones experimented on, but we know that Crosshair himself was tortured in order to be brainwashed by Hemlock into becoming one of these Imperial agents. Alas, we find out that Crosshair was too defective for that. He says it himself that he was always a defective clone and they could never turn him to become a robot-like creature to be activated whenever the Empire wanted. This is similar to the MK Ultra experiments where in actuality they wanted to do that, so it seems like the Empire is moving down that path too. So we know that one defective clone, one Bad Batch member, was not able to be turned, but what about Tech? You see, the death of Tech is very suspicious. First of all, yes, Tech did fall from a high altitude. However, in Star Wars, there's a rule that if we don't see a corpse dead, a grave, then you're probably not dead. And what did we see with Tech? He just fell into the mist, into the clouds, and we never saw his body. We never got a confirmed death. Therefore, I really suspect that Tech is alive, but not well, unfortunately, because he was scooped up by the Empire, transported to Tantus into the hands of Hemlock, where he underwent the same experiments Crosshair did. However, Tech, due to his life or death situation, he was probably extremely injured and they were able to revive him. His weakened state might have given him reason to succumb to the dark side, essentially, to the experiments of Hemlock. So my first proof was that we saw the first Imperial agent face, we didn't see the second one. Then, the second one has an earpiece similar to Tech. The third part of the evidence is, of course, that I don't think Tech is dead. I don't think anybody thinks Tech is dead, and he was probably transported to Tantus and created into an Imperial agent. But I have more evidence, believe it or not, and this one I think really takes the cake. I think this last piece of evidence that I saw with my very eyes, and I'm gonna mention it right here, and I'm gonna put that clip in this video so it can be confirmed by you as well, is the moment this Imperial agent locates the clone base and takes a glimpse at Omega from afar. Crosshair. Not only does he react very peculiar, but interestingly enough, he also goes outside of the base, talks to his superior to let them know about Omega, but when they ask, "Are you sure that is Omega?" this is his response.
Is it confirmed?
It's her. She's with a group of rogue clones.
Given that this Imperial agent singled out Omega out of them all, and calling the Bad Batch rogue clones also means that he is personally attached to this group, and he is extremely sure, as he said himself, that is Omega. Now, how would he know this by just watching an image or going through the bounty list? Even in the end, his hard-headedness, he doesn't listen to Commander Wolf. He is, of course, one of the Bad Batch, a defective clone that doesn't go by ranking, doesn't go by status, he goes by himself. And what's most important out of them all, he doesn't die at the end, even after fighting Crosshair, and you can clearly see that he has something personal with Crosshair too. He still lives in the end, meaning that we will see him again. Star Wars, Dave Filoni, they don't do things just by accident. This Imperial agent is more important than the others. This is why, in the end, when he removes his mask, the Imperial agent will be revealed to be Tech, who has survived but unfortunately has gone way into the dark side. He is now completely an Imperial tool, and it will probably take Echo levels of deprogramming to get him back into their midst, or perhaps they will need to kill him. Somebody needs to be sacrificed. Now, I saw some speculation also that this Shadow Agent might be somebody we never expected actually, and that is Commander Cody. Because of this episode featuring so many nostalgia characters like Captain Rex, like Commander Wolf, why not Commander Cody too? The second Shadow Agent or Imperial Agent definitely seemed to take things more personally this time around. He was familiar with the clones, he seemed kind of more after Rex and after Crosshair, and the fans that are actually pointing this out might not be wrong because of his skills with a knife, with clone knives. We saw Commander Cody was very skilled in Season 2 with a knife, and this trooper was also the same, so this could be some sort of a hint. Not that other clones are not trained with a knife, this seemed more like a callback, like an Easter egg. So who knows, this might be Commander Cody too, and it would kind of make sense since Cody's been gone for longer and he would have had more time to be conditioned. If he was actually caught after escaping, then he would definitely be marked for reprogramming, aka sent to Tantus. With Hemlock, he would probably have been already better physically trained than Tech at this point, and as we can see in the episode, he spoke very, very little. This Imperial Agent or Shadow Agent, whatever you want to call him, this was definitely done intentionally. What do you guys think also? Talk to me down below in the comments.